This is Erin Harrison with Keeper of the Homestead, and I'm here again with my amazing co-host, who is Owen Newman from Tennessee, and he's a major homesteader. So him and his wife have been homesteading for their whole lives, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
And so he's like a horseman, blacksmith, she's a basket maker, she sews, she just does about everything.
A lot of the stuff I learned from my maternal grandmother.
Yeah.
I think that's where it started, because that's what they did.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes, so now you left us on a cliffhanger last time, didn't he? So we don't know what he meant about that. What was it called again?
EDC, everyday carry.
Everyday carry. Okay, well, I still don't know what this means. So please enlighten us.
Okay. Everyday carry means exactly what it is. It's stuff that you carry every day. If you read a lot of, like David Nash and James Rawls and some others, always talking about different types of things, like bug out bags and get out of Dodge kits and stuff like that. But then there's one called EDC, the stuff that you would carry with you every day to, just in case something happens, you have a little extra stuff with you to take and help you get through it.
Okay.
But now everybody practices EDC to some form or another right now.
They do.
And they don't even know. Oh yes. I will show you one of the most prevalent EDC kits in the world today.
You will?
Yep.
Oh, I can't wait.
Right there.
Right there.
A woman's purse.
This is my purse.
Well, what does a woman have in there? She's got all sorts of stuff to take and carry her
let's see
through the day.
what do we have in here? Let's look.
That's
We have
actually,
some
yeah.
Antibacterial.
Antibacteria. She'll have.
And bug spray.
Uh-huh.
Well, this one is an essential oil blend because
yeah.
I like natural stuff.
There'll be tissues.
And I actually, my hand sanitizer I make myself too.
Yeah.
I just use like aloe vera and just add essential oils to it.
Yeah.
So it makes like a gel.
Yeah.
And look what I have here.
Yep. See.
My tweezers,
Yeah.
fingernail
Now,
snippers,
this thing you can
and
use
files.
to cut wires with, or
Yeah,
or
I
string.
actually do. I
Yeah.
have had to use it.
Oh yeah.
Well, I didn't even know that that's what you meant. This is so funny.
Yeah.
And then what else do I have in here? Oh, well, I have my money and all that sort of stuff if I need it, my
Yeah.
different little cards.
A man will have generally a jackknife, other stuff that he carries in his pockets. I know one guy that both front and back pockets of his pants were full of stuff, and he carried stuff on his belt. I mean, he was a walking EDC kit.
Really?
So you get, an EDC kit. It isn't like there's a standard form for an EDC kit. Everybody has in theirs the things that they think that they can use.
Okay.
That'll take and help them out. So I'll just show you some of the things that I carry with me, and I change it, from time to time when I realize, well, I need to start carrying this, and I don't really need to carry this, things like that. So it isn't something that you have this list, and this is what you're going to carry all the time. It can take and change from time to time. And everybody, what I carry may not be what somebody else will carry.
Well, this is something I always carry. I know it sounds crazy, but I like these. I have this Hydra flask thing here.
Yeah.
And I carry it with me everywhere I go. Because if I'm out and about, if I need, water to drink, well, I have my water then.
Right, yeah.
I
And then
make
if
sure that's along.
you're in an
And
emergency
I get
situation.
this small enough that can fit in the
Right.
purse.
I have one myself at home. I don't have it with me today, but it's nice to have something to carry a little bit of water with you. Now this is the kit that I use. Some people have backpacks, and some people have other things. This is a bag that Evie has made. I just about worn the thing out. I need to get a new one. I'll show you some of the things that I carry. I'll just take and bring some stuff out
this?
here. Where's the rest of it? I carry a lot of stuff in here, And then, like I say, I've gone through this, and I know what I need to have and what I don't need to have. So I'll just take it and bring some of the stuff out.
Look at all this stuff.
Yeah.
It's got some kind of a tin here.
Yeah. Okay. Now, a lot of the stuff that I have, other people won't have because they don't feel the need for it.
Well, that's the thing with my purse. I always feel like I want to have all the things that I need just in case I get stranded somewhere and I need stuff.
All right. Now here's what I have. This is a fire starting kit.
Oh.
And of course I do this. You can take and carry some matches with you. I think I got a deal in
Oh,
here
I have matches
with
in
a
my
few
purse.
matches, waterproof match. It's a waterproof match carrier. I've also got like a Bic lighter. But this is a flint and steel kit.
Okay.
I've started many fires with this, and of course you practice with this before you actually need it, so that when you need it, you know how to. I've got a flint in here, a couple pieces of flint. I've got a steel in here, a homemade steel.
Well, he did this with blacksmithing, of course.
And here is some. This is some waxed wick to help start
waxed
fires with.
wick.
And then I got a little thing here that I
That's
can
neat.
lift this up. And underneath this here, I've got some char cloth for starting fires.
Oh, yeah.
It's an emergency type of kit. I learned how to take and do this type of fire starting when Abby and I were rendezvousing in the fur trade area.
Wow, that's really neat. Now, what else do you have in
And
there?
I have it in this nice little case. It's actually a Civil War type case.
Oh, and this here can go on his belt, it looks like.
I can, yes. This is a
Oh, excuse me.
Swedish Mora knife. I think it cost me all of $10.
Really?
They're very good knives. There's hard carbon steel in the center, and then there's softer steel sandwiched on the outside. It comes with a nice sheath that all you can do is just take it on your belt like that there, and it stays there pretty good. So I've got a knife to use.
Is
Plus,
it good for me to have a multi-tool?
if you have use for it, yeah.
Because I normally carry one in my purse. I didn't put it in there yet, but I normally always have multi-tool.
Yeah, that's part of it. Now this is something that I carry whenever I'm in a vehicle of any kind. This is a heavy knife. It's a tanto blade made by Smith & Wesson. It's a cryogenic type blade.
This is that kind that you can cut the seatbelt
Yeah,
with.
see, it has a seatbelt cutter. It's also got a window breaker, and that's why I carry it.
Emergency.
That is an emergency tool that I carry with me everywhere. I can just take and put it in my pocket, or
Very nice.
whatever. Now this here.
Do you recommend women having a knife like this?
Oh yeah,
So
because
I
it's legal. It really is.
And I should have one of these because you never know if you run your car or someone runs you off the road and you end up in the ditch or something and you have to get out and you can't get the door open. You can crack it open with this little deal on the end, right?
Right, yeah. Now this is actually a tea tin from France.
Oh, that's a beautiful little tin.
Oh yeah, and inside of it I have a double-sided stone, and these are nothing but cotton cosmetic wipes. And the reason I've got these, it protects the stone while it's in there, but these are also fire starters. You can fluff these up. You take and put a little Vaseline on there, and they make fantastic fire starters.
Well, what is the stone for?
To sharpen the knives.
Oh, to sharpen the knives, of course.
You know.
I would forget about such things.
And this is a neat little deal here.
Okay.
This is a
got
mini
here?
survival kit. This is an
Ooh.
old first aid packet from,
Look at this.
the
That's
Second
really
World
a neat
War.
little tin.
This is all copper. It's probably an antique. But inside I've got things, here's some thread. Actually what this is
Sinew?
no,
No?
it's floss. Floss makes some of the best emergency threads that you can get a hold of.
Oh, so even
got
just
that.
having a little tiny little thing of floss would be a good thing, handy thing to have in
I've
your...
got a tweezer. I've
Okay,
got a couple
that's good.
of
and a pin.
safety
He has a
pins.
safety pin.
This is a wire saw.
Oh, a wire saw. Look at that.
I have a fingernail clipper. I have a small razor knife.
Oh, look at that.
I've got another
And
deal here
Band-Aid.
with thread. Yeah, and Band-Aids in here, and an alcohol wipe.
Alcohol wipes are good too.
They're good for sanitizing if you get a scratch or something, and they also are good for starting fires.
Hey, these are all really good ideas.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
always, there's two things
any one of
that you
these
can always carry with you, and they're convenient, and they don't take much room. Take some of those cosmetic wipes, make sure they're cotton. I got a whole big tube of them for $1.
Yeah.
Wipe them with a little bit of put white petroleum jelly and put those in a container, something similar to this, and some alcohol wipes, and actually your alcohol hand sanitizer will help you help start fires.
What?
Yes.
Really?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Huh. I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah,
Wow.
they'll help you.
Now what's in here?
That is hand sanitizer.
And it's your own homemade.
Well, partially. What I did is took stuff that was.
Ooh, I know what I smell in there.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Like a thieves?
Yep, you betcha. See, I've taken the stuff that I bought. I think I get this for $1, and I put in some 4 Thieves. And believe me, without 4 Thieves, it kills 99.99%. With Thieves, it kills 100%.
That's a really good thing to have.
I have these are 3 magnifying glasses, so different powers. I can also use these to start fires with.
Oh, you can with the sunlight. Wow, that's amazing.
Right. Now, and this
Doesn't this
packet
make
here,
you want to look around your house for little containers and make yourself a nice little kit in your purse?
All right, now here in this little can, here's another spare flint, but here's some of these wipes with alcohol, with petroleum jelly on. You fluff those up, and they burn. Oh boy, they burn like there's kerosene on them.
Wow, I would have never thought. Just the Vaseline of petroleum jelly.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Huh.
Well, cotton balls it'll do the very same thing.
Oh, that's really great. So he used looks like an old flash case for a camera.
No, that's
Lens?
not a flash case. That was a lens case.
Yeah, a lens case.
Yeah.
Well,
And-
the way it was shaped was kind of more narrow.
Now this little tin here is a mini fishing kit. I've got some. These are some pieces of lead that I can use for different things. I have a spool of fishing line in here with quite a few hooks. I've got a strip of lead here that I can use for a weight. I've got a fly. I get it out here without myself poked.
Oh.
So I got an artificial fly in here.
Wow.
So that
see. If you need to catch fish on the run.
Yeah, well, see, the fish is
spot.
something that you can take and use. You know. And now this one here, this tin, and these work good for anything like this. This is a shoe polish tin, and they have different sizes. This is one of the larger sizes. And in here, I have some char cloth, or I have some what they call char wood. This is like punky wood that's been charred like charcoal. It catches a spark and it'll burn. And I have a piece of a cotton ball in here, and it's soaked with carbon, charcoal.
What people need to know is why. Like, here's a question these ladies might be thinking about when they're watching this. They might think, well, why do you have so many things to start fires in there? Do you feel like you're gonna be in a situation where you're gonna need to make a fire or something?
You will always be in a situation where you need to start a fire. If you can start a fire,
it's when.
It's when, right? It's not if, it's when. Because in every situation that you are, one of the first things, you have the rule of 3s. You can live 3 minutes without oxygen. You can live 3 hours without shelter, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food.
How many hours? What about the fire one? Warmth.
Warmth. That would be your shelter.
Oh, shelter.
See?
Okay.
If you in a survival
You've got to
situation.
stay warm. I mean.
Well, the first thing you do, you don't look for water. You look for shelter. That's the very first thing you do to shelter yourself from the elements. Find what you can. Then you take and start looking for water, and then you start looking for food.
And then the fire helps to cook the food.
The fire keeps you warm. It can cook your food. It can signal people where you're at. And I have here just a very inexpensive compass.
Oh,
It's
that's
a copper
good thing.
case
So you know
compass.
where you are, how to
I
get
think it
home.
costs like $3-4, something like that.
Say you're in the middle of the woods. You keep walking in one direction. Is that how the trick is? Because you can otherwise walk in a circle.
Well,
I get lost. I'm sorry, but part of my
yeah.
problem is that I'm directionally challenged. My husband will tell you this. I go and I drive in the car, and if I don't have a phone with a GPS or some kind of a unit or a map quest thing where the print off, I can get so lost, and then I used to start to panic, and I would call my husband frantic on the phone, and I would say, I'm lost, I don't know where I am. And he always starts off real simple with me. He says, okay, look around you, what do you see? It's the first thing he asks me. And I say, I see trees. And then he says, do you see any signs? And then I look around, and because he's trying to calm me down so I'm not in panic mode anymore. And then I look for the signs, and then he asks me what the signs say. And then after that, he asks me where is the sun coming from, and then there's different questions. If there's any street signs, and if I had been near any kind of gas stations or this or that. And then from there, he helps direct me back to the main road so that I can get back home. And he'll stay on the phone with me and help me get there. But there was a year ago, we went on a little camping trip. And we had our kayaks, and we went to Percy Priest Lake, and we were going to camp out on an uninhabited island. And we did this, but before we got to the island, I thought where they were going. They looked like they were going in this direction, so I started following that direction. I looked like where there was a path, and I made it all the way to the water through the woods, but nobody was there. And I thought, did they leave? I didn't know anything, and then when I had to try to figure, and I kept calling people's names, and I actually got lost in the woods.
Oh yeah.
And so I thought I could stay on the coast and I could just walk along that, but I didn't know how far out they would be by that time, and I didn't know what direction to walk. So when I was walking back, I kept feeling like I was walking in circles, and I actually started to panic again.
That's what happened. People, they found out that people always walk in a circle.
Oh my goodness. So
they had a deal on Mythbusters where they did this, where they blindfolded these guys and had them try and walk blindfolded across the field. Man, they couldn't walk a straight line for nothing. To them, they were walking in an absolutely straight line, but they were all over the field.
Oh my goodness. So you get kind of turned around.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
I got lost in the mountains in Montana. I didn't know where I was.
Okay, so it's important to have a compass.
And it's important to have a compass unless you're,
So if you have the compass, then what do we do? Do we just follow to make sure you're always going north, or you're always going which direction?
Well, if you know what direction you come from, then you can use a compass to find your way back.
But what if you don't know that?
Well, then you kind of have to know where you're at and what lies around there. What the compass does is if you're traveling.
Can you tell by the sun, or like any kind of other appearance?
Well, if it's a cloudy day, you can't tell by the sun.
What about moss on trees?
Forget it. Moss grows on all sides of the trees.
Oh, I thought it grew on one side.
No, it grows on all sides. It may grow heaviest on one certain side. But the best thing to do is to look at the branches of the trees. Generally, the heavier branches will be on the south side.
Really?
Generally. Another thing to look for is see where the prevailing winds, if you know where the prevailing winds are coming from, look at the trees and see, because the trees will always be like pushing, the wind will push them this way. You can tell, well, a lot of times the trees, which direction the wind is coming from.
Oh, okay.
Not all the time, but certain trees you can.
Okay.
Shadows will help. The Native Americans never had a compass. The mountain men never had a compass, and yet they never, they were. Jim Bridger was never lost. He was just, temporarily confused or something like that. He said, but he was never lost. The camp was lost, but he never was. But I got turned around. It was a deal where I had to take and put down my favorite dog. And I took her out in the woods to take and do it, and I got to crying so hard I lost my way. And I went down the wrong side of the ridge. And it just so happened, I thought, now what am I going to do? And I come across this road, and I knew where this road wound up. So I just followed it around. I had to follow it all the way around until I could find my horse again.
Oh my goodness. Now horses, do they have a sense of direction?
Oh yeah, a horse will find his way home. If you got a horse with you, you just give him his head, he'll take you home.
Really?
Absolutely.
That's
Horses know their way home.
remarkable. That is
Yeah.
remarkable. What about a dog? Will they bring you home?
A dog generally knows its way home too. I don't
Go
know.
home?
Huh?
And then you just say go home and then they'll just go home?
Yeah, yeah.
Even if you're like miles away from home? What if you
It's-
drove in a car and then went to a place and then...
Well, there's lots of instances where dogs have been, you know, taken across the country and they
Yeah.
found their way back.
That's incredible. Well, if you think
Cats
about it, like
too.
the monarch butterfly, they always know.
Yeah,
like
and
these
the thing
different
is, they're-
animals know. They know how to find their way back.
It takes
Where-
3 generations from monarch butterfly to get from the United States to Mexico. The ones that want to get from Mexico.
How do they know?
Yeah.
And how
They've
do
never
they
been there
know?
before. Yeah, that's what's got scientists going. They're just driving
Well,
them
it's
nuts.
because of our creator, right?
Right.
That's
He
so
puts us
true.
in animals, you betcha.
That's amazing.
But you know, it's nice to take it and know how to use your compass. I have a very simple one because that's all I need. Some people want to have a more advanced one, like an engineer's compass or a military
Mm-hmm.
compass. If you know how to use it, you know, fine, use it. But this one just suffices for me.
Yeah.
And if you're familiar, if you spend a lot of time in the woods,
Mm-hmm.
generally you're not going to get lost. You know,
Okay.
you know where you're at. And if you know
Well-
how to survive in the woods, you're never lost because you can make camp with what you have wherever you are. Now, another thing that I keep in my kit, which might help some people, but not everybody has to get it, I have some candied ginger.
Ooh,
and
candied
the reason I have that is because I am prone to motion sickness. And I never used to be, but I am now. I don't know what's happened. This is the best antidote for motion sickness or dizziness that you ever come across.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's cheap, it's safe, and it works like a charm. I'll tell you what, it's just great. So, you know, you could take and carry, I intend to take and make a better first aid kit to carry with me and a couple other things. But you don't need a lot. You just need sort of some of the kind of the basic stuff
Yeah.
to take and get you through the next, you know, day or two.
You just want to have enough in there for that.
Right,
And
right.
I think that's so important.
Yeah, it is,
I
yeah.
mean, usually if I go on a day trip, I pick,
Yeah.
I even bring socks. Because, you know, and a sweater, and I bring leggings, because
Yeah.
you know, in the summer it's so hot, and I'll end up with, I'm wearing a little sundress thing
Yeah.
like this. And then I bring a sweater and
Yeah.
some socks and some leggings, because I think, well, you never know if I end up with a situation where things get cooler, or
Up
I'm
in
in air
Canada-
conditioning or something, I get cold, then I have a satchel like that I bring along, and then I have my other clothing along to keep
Yeah.
myself warm. And that works really well
Yeah.
too.
Oh, up in Canada, they have like a milk case,
Yeah.
and they will have in there like a lantern that you can take and heat water on. They'll have
Uh-huh.
a container of water. They have a little kit with tea in it and maybe sugar and a few other things like that. They've always got something like that. Another thing I want to carry, and you can get these like at Walmart, is these disposable ponchos. You know, they cost like a buck
when
or
it's-
something like that.
Oh, when it's raining.
If
to
you get
keep
caught out in the
dry.
rain, yeah.
And what even if you don't find, if you can't find a poncho like that, you could use. I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind is like a trash bag.
Trash bags, yep,
You know,
absolutely.
a trash bag could be an invaluable thing.
A couple of
When
them,
you're-
actually. You know, a
when
couple
have-
of
if you had
30-gallon
and they
trash
fold-
bags.
And they fold up really small.
Yeah, a couple
You can
30
put them in
gallons you
your-
can take in. I've seen it where a guy had some of those, and he'd fill them with leaves and pine needles and stuff, and he could use it either for a mattress or he'd put them over the top of them to keep him warm.
Wow, see, those are some really good ideas.
Yeah, see, all
Yeah,
sorts
just
of stuff.
I mean,
like
these
that.
little things you just don't know. Like, what if? I mean, there's been times where I've been driving at a distance,
Yeah.
and sometimes there's no cell signal
Yeah.
because you know people rely on their phones. Oh, I will
Yeah.
just call somebody.
Yeah.
But if you're in the middle of nowhere and your car breaks down or something,
Yeah,
it's kind of nice if you have a few things to get you by until you can get help.
Right, absolutely.
Until
yeah.
somebody drives past, because if you're in the middle of the boonies like
Yeah,
I am,
yeah.
it could be hours before somebody drives
Yeah,
past.
you know, and some instances you may want to carry a gun with you.
Well, I always do. I mean, I always have one in the vehicle because it's
Yeah.
legal in Tennessee. It's legal for a woman, for anybody to carry in their vehicle
I do
in case
too,
of
yeah,
an
I do.
emergency. And you know, you don't know if you would have a stranger come by that
Yeah.
would, you know, at least you have protection. Or I have it also for like, what if you're in the woods and a big animal
Right.
comes by?
You can use it for protection, you can use it for signaling, you can even use it for starting fires.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a really good thing, and I'm glad that I have one.
Oh yeah.
But I
yeah.
you know.
My wife's got one.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got
I mean, it's
a
a
little
smart
revolver.
thing. I mean, I just it's good to know that I have that extra protection if I would need
Right.
it in an
You
emergency
just have that.
situation.
It's something to give you a little extra edge on the situation.
Right.
That's what
right.
an EDC is for.
EDC is for, yeah. So now, all you ladies out there, don't just have a purse full of makeup and stuff you don't need in trash, because I know some of you out there probably open up your purse and you can probably find like old Kleenexes.
Used to be, if I wanted to find a ballpoint pen, I'd find it in every purse. One time I dumped a purse upside down, there must have been 25 ballpoint pens.
Well, I
in there.
think sometimes people, I've been there and done that where I just get busy and, you know, I get receipts from stores and I
Yeah.
just shove everything in my purse for a rainy day when I have time to clean it out. But I think it's an important enough deal to make sure that you have things in there in case of emergency situations and have it handy. So next time you go out and about and
you have some
you know,
jerky in there, not the store-bought kind, this kind you make yourself, or energy bars or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, an
carry
energy bar would be a good thing for people to have in their carry-on. And also, maybe some nuts and dried fruit would be a good thing too. Like
Dried
non-perishable items that you could
something
stick
that you
in
can
there.
use for a cup, a boudin cube, you know.
to make a little soup or something.
little soup or something like that,
Yeah.
So it all, you know, there's all kinds of stuff, that, you know. There's books like James Ballou has got a couple of them, you know.
Yeah.
Look him up on the internet, and James Wesley Rawls, and a lot of Creek
Got a lot of different
Stewart.
really good
has got-
ideas.
Creek Stewart's got a lot of neat, handy stuff, and called the Survival Hacks. Man, I tell you, that's a nice book to get hold of. He's got all sorts of little deals. He'll show you how to start a fire there with a gum wrapper.
Wow. Well, that's amazing. Well, I'm so glad we could have you on today. You have been such a great encouragement and help to us. I just hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week, and make sure you have your
EDC carrot.
EDC.
Yeah.
Okay, have a lovely week, ladies. Goodbye.